ballot in the 2020s?
I wouldn't know that he mentioned today, and I just saw it. I had it like you. Maybe I was coming here when I had it, because I've been up country on the Nyota project. I just came this morning, and I've not had time to talk to him, so I wouldn't know what he will decide. But of course, we'll go with what he will decide then.
And finally, perhaps because of the interest of time, let's talk of Hustler Fund.
Yeah.
You're on record in 2023 telling Kenyans then not to repay the loan that they took. When you were asked in the vetting committee, you said you did not have facts about Hustler Fund. You are now the minister asking Kenyans to repay their Hustler Fund debt. One would assume 19 million Kenyans took you seriously in 2023 and have refused to repay.
You see, Hustler Fund was a promise by His Excellency the President when he was campaigning. And usually when there is a promise, people take it that it's a promise, and when it comes, it's a reward. And that's how they took Youth Fund. That's how they took Women Fund, because these were political promises. So when Hustler Fund was launched, quite a number of people who took about 7 billion disappeared. But what is important, that the Hustler Fund has been able to remove so many people from CRB, and some of them who have been paying, borrowing and paying, they are now able to borrow more. And that's why we came last year, in November, we came up with the bridging loan. They have now moved on from small limits, now up to 150. Those who have been borrowing and repaying, they can now borrow up to 150, and even the period has been increased to 30 days. Before it was 14 days. And the fact that it is 8%, single digit, over 1 year, you cannot get such a funding anywhere. Yeah. And
what of those who are failing to repay? Because maybe they followed your advice.
Yeah. You know, that time, you can appreciate where I was.
Politically?
Where I was politically. I was providing oversight, and I felt that 100 shillings, 200 shillings was nothing. You could not start business with that, but I have realized now that people are able to borrow 200 shillings, buy unga, and repay the following day, borrow again and buy unga. And some of the people, especially those who are in Mjengo, depend on this Hustler Fund.
And finally, your party ODM is marking 20 years since it was formed. You have served in the highest of positions, and as far as ODM is concerned, what next for that party from an observer point of view?
I feel that ODM is one of the parties that has been stable in this country, a party that has been able to be strong for 20 years. Most parties are there. After an election, they are not there. Or after election, they are very weak. You can remember the Jubilee, it was there. Now Jubilee has very few members in Parliament. We don't know these other parties, but I think because of the leadership that we have had as a party, our party leader, Raila Amolo Odinga, has provided very strong leadership, and that's why the party has remained strong all along over the last 20 years.
And all along it has had a presidential candidate.
Yes.
Finally, as we conclude,
all along.
What are the chances of ODM not having a presidential candidate in 2027?
As I've said, that is a decision exclusively left to the party leader. If you read our constitution, sometimes such a decision is very difficult to consult widely. And that's why it is left to the party leader. And today, you heard him say that there will be a candidate for ODM that time. So
Fair
let's
enough.
wait and see what will happen.
And indeed, ODM leader Raila Odinga did address ODM parliamentary group today. He said, and I quote, "We have not passed any resolution as a party on how we will go into the 2027 election. Wherever you are, don't commit the party into something that we have not discussed." And similarly, that's equally your position.
Yes, yes. But us being in government, we have no problem campaigning for the president.
To seek a second term.
Yeah, to seek a second term, because we are in government.
And the president at times brags of being one of the founding members of ODM. Is he welcome?
Yeah, yes, yeah. He will be welcome. You know, always every election, there is different combination since we had a new constitution. So we never know which combination we shall be in.
Wycliffe Oparanya is the Cabinet Secretary for Cooperatives, Micro, Small and Medium Enterprise Development. Thank you very much, Waziri.
Thank you very
for
much.
making time for us tonight.
Thank you also for inviting me.
You're more than welcome.
Yeah.
You're watching TV 47, and that brings us to the end of the interview and the hour-long program, which had the news and this discussion. Thanks for watching. I'm Abu Bakr Abdullahi on behalf of the entire team that made this production possible. Bye for now. 90 Plus is up next. Enjoy the rest of our programs. Good night and God bless.